Throughout the day in all parts of South Carolina. There were some issues at some of the precincts. People showed up and they were like, well, you have to vote at another precinct. We'll be talking about that again a little bit later. But for the most part, a very steady day. Some areas of the state actually reporting heavy voter turnout today.
Which is not something that you necessarily expect during a midterm election. As you can see here on your screen, the candidates voted themselves. Current Governor Henry McMaster, as you can see on the left side of your screen, and then his Democratic challenger Joe Cunningham, both voting. McMaster today at MLK Park and Cunningham earlier this week.
Of course, that governor's race is just one of several statewide races we're going to be following tonight. Our Whitney Sullivan takes a look at some of the main contests that we're following this evening. Whitney?
We've been talking about it for months, and Election Day has finally arrived. Voters across the state have about an hour left to cast their ballot for the candidates they want to represent them. In less than 2 minutes, we're going to take a look at several major races that News 19 will be following. Let's start with the race for governor. Now, there are 3 candidates: our current governor, Republican Henry McMaster, Democratic challenger, former Congressman Joe Cunningham, as well as Libertarian candidate Bruce Reeves. Now, if McMaster wins and completes the term, he will be the longest serving governor in our state's history. It's also important to note that the governor and lieutenant governor run together. So whoever wins the gubernatorial race, their running mate will serve as the state's lieutenant governor. Next up, Superintendent of Education. This will be another closely watched race. There are also 3 candidates running for this seat. The Democratic candidate is Lisa Ellis. She's a high school English teacher and founder of SC for Ed. Patricia Michael represents the Green Party. She's been an educator for over 15 years at the high school and collegiate level. And the Republican candidate is Ellen Weaver. Now, Weaver helped launch the conservative think tank Palmetto Promise Institute. She also served on the Education Oversight Committee. Now, one of the most talked about aspects of this race is the requirement that candidates for Superintendent of Education have a minimum of a master's degree. Weaver did not have that requirement when she entered the race. However, last month she announced she completed the coursework to obtain that degree from Bob Jones University. Another race that we will be taking a close look at is South Carolina's U.S. Senate race. The Republican incumbent, Tim Scott, will be facing Democrat Crystal Matthews. Scott has said this will be his last term if he is reelected. Now, this will help determine the balance of power in the U.S. Senate. Currently, the Democratic Party represents the majority. However, as you can see, it is by a slim margin, so it could easily change. Control of the Senate could hang on results in a handful of states. So this is a situation that people across the country will be monitoring very closely. Back here in South Carolina, we're also going to be monitoring the results for the race when it comes to the Secretary of State. We also have the Treasurer's race, among other key contests. News 19 will bring you the election results as we receive them both on air, online at WLTX.com, and of course on the News 19 app. And as always, my friends, remember, your vote matters. Reporting in the studio, Whitney Sullivan, News 19, WLTX.
Whitney, thank you.